Okay, hello. Okay, hello. So today I'm planning a very short stream C-47 practice. That's because I probably am gonna be flying with air troop carrier command guys later today, this evening. I just need to refresh some skills on C-47, some settings, some settings I even didn't ever developed. Okay, let's only cargo. Let's have paratroopers. And all set, we're ready to go. That's gonna be, I think that's gonna be quite short stream. Unfortunately, only 40 minutes left until mission ends. So, and later today I'm gonna have A20B stream, also training, also practicing with Russian commentary for another group of bombers players, bomber players. Probably I will be able to fly with them either. Let's wait and see. And later today I'm planning to have a third stream with Airborne troop carrier command guys on C-47. I don't know, probably on tactical air war maybe. So let's start with C-47 training. I didn't fly it for a very long time. I like this airplane. Those are US paratroopers, airborne troops. Quite good detail models, but the same faces. You will not see this here. Gornier, Lieutenant Winters, or some other guys from well-known easy company. So first, set up track IR. I like to set up my track IRs, choose my track IR settings. For this artificial horizon to be on my exactly on my 12. So move a little bit left and up, set it, no, a little bit more left and up, and this gauge is going to be on my 12. So next step, I will use Technochat this time, but just when I need it for elevator trim settings. Props forward, throttle a little bit forward, mixture forward to auto reach. I think this gonna be after auto reach. Oh, already complications. That emergency full reach settings which you not able to control without Technochat. Who knows, maybe that is the reason of unexpected engine failures which players report from time to time. That's another reason why not all Technochat messages you can count as arcade unrealistic easy settings. Okay, that's gonna be my auto reach and my once again, how could I know if my coal shooters opened or closed? This I can see 50%. I don't need Technochat for this, but this you're just not able to know. You know if you open them or close. Open. They developed this. Close. Oh, that's, I like that. So anyway, let's start. Lights on. The mission plan is gonna be usual, some taxiing, then take off. After takeoff I gonna pick up some climbing, stabilized climbing attitude settings. That's why I need, I like to use standard settings, and that's why I need Technochat. Left engine okay. This game doesn't provide us with any malfunction, any difficulties while turning on engines. Right engine is gonna start very soon. So, right engine's on. I can watch it over there. Next step, I'm gonna close those doors. And that door for paratroopers always open. Ready to taxi. I can't even remember if I've got any parking brake on this airplane. Yes, I had that. It's released right now. Taxiing is gonna be on gravel, on grassy surface, and I'm gonna use differential power taxiing. That differential power no brakes taxiing is quite easy on C-47, quite comfortable. Some players consider this airplane the most comfortable, the most favorite in this game. That may sound like a compliment for developers, because any transport airplane should be very easy to handle for any pilot. So that you can say that's realism in this game, and you even don't need to perform as turning taxiing. I've got no any problems with taxiing on grassy surface. Let's check asphalt tarmac. I bet it's gonna be a lot of problems, but this beauty is so huge and so easy to handle. Probably asphalt surface is also good, but you can see even this quite wide taxiing runway is not so wide for C-47. Very comfortable, very easy. She's taxiing okay, but still I'm touching the gravel surface. I'm not able to steer with differential power. She's accelerating too much when I use differential power on asphalt tarmac, unfortunately. And now she's not able to get her left wheel into the asphalt. Those developers consider asphalt tarmac is higher than gravel. They consider it's higher, and in real life it's lower. So it's very easy to get your wheel from gravel, from a sideline into the main tarmac. I don't even control RPM gauge. I watch only my levers, but still, as you can see, I'm struggling to taxi on asphalt tarmac. I'm struggling to get her left wheel once again on the asphalt tarmac. Because you need extra power for that, and the extra power gives you too much taxiing speed. but still very, very, very comfortable, very easy to handle on taxiing with differential power, no brakes. Still, this slight turn wasn't very sharp. I wasn't able, still I wasn't able to perform that turn with differential power. She's accelerating, but she doesn't. Probably. That was my bad. That was my fault. I didn't release tail wheel. So that's why you need practicing. I forgot this airplane's got tail wheel block system. That was my bad. That's why practice is always good thing to do before serious mission. I'm sure I'm gonna be okay on grassy surface, on gravel. Let's check asphalt tarmac. Let's see if I'm gonna be able to taxi. Oh, she's steering too much. Not able. Without using brakes, that's gonna be unplayable. Because you can turn with differential power, but the amount of differential power you apply gives you also excessive power. Half of your differential power is your excessive power. So that excessive power causes acceleration, taxiing speed increasing, and that is uncomfortable, unplayable, because rolling drag on that surface is too low. So, verdict: don't use concrete or asphalt tarmac, use gravel surfaces, because you're accelerating too much without using brakes, only using differential power. That's weird. I'm not sure if that's realistic, and on good server you're gonna have some equipment, some structures, some vehicles to the side of the road, or to the side of taxiing runway. So it's gonna be easy for you to do no brakes, normal speed taxiing on gravel surface, on grassy surface. As you can see, I'm pretty comfortable with that differential power taxiing. I do not use any brakes. That's all because rolling drag force is not too low on this type of surface, and on this surface, on asphalt or tarmac or steel plates, it's too low. That rolling drag is too low. Okay, now I'm gonna turn back do 180 and get to my start position. I'm somewhere over there. I need to be here. Very, very, very easy to handle on grassy surface. As you can see, I'm struggling a little bit, but that's because I didn't practice this airplane for a very long time. You need to get yourself familiar, get yourself used to this, for her behavior, and very soon it's gonna be easy for you. That's my start position over there on my 12 o'clock. That was the reason of the struggling. I forgot to watch my throttle levers. When you watch them, no problem at all. And in real life, I've got my joystick has got only one throttle lever. It's I'm very comfortable with that. I could get myself or order for a good master to produce very advanced gadget for me, very advanced joystick for me, but I like standard devices, because I like everything which is comfortable, which is appropriate for group flying. You don't want to develop your skills, your mission part, the way you perform your mission part based on very good, very advanced device, because your teammate could not have that device. His device could be, or her device could be much more simple device, so that's gonna be an issue. That's why I do not have any advanced joysticks. The most simple joystick I bought probably 15 years ago. I use it. I'm quite comfortable with it. So okay, no more differential power for me. Let's check it. It's okay. Set up my track air once again for normal flying, not for taxiing. And now I'm gonna get myself on a readiness position with using brakes. I will not block my tail wheel because I'm gonna use brakes. So, and I forgot the trim settings. I gonna have 30% up elevator trim. How can I judge it? How can I control it with this bar? I don't know. With this gauge, in real airplane, on this wheel I would paint some markings. I'm not able to do that in the game, and anyway, in real airplane you will be able to feel how much you move your control wheel or control tab. You're not able to do that while playing the game, and that's why Technochat trim settings message, Technochat messages are important. That's not right if you turn them off. Okay, where is my stop go gauge? This watch is very comfortable. Now it's 0 seconds. When it's gonna be 30 seconds, I gonna start my roll on a start part of a mission. It's also quite important because very beautiful but not realistic way of group takeoff when you all form up on a takeoff on a runway, and you accelerate and take off all together. That's not good, that's not realistic. You should do that one by one with 30 seconds intervals. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Full power. She's very easy to handle, very comfortable airplane for unskilled pilot and in real life and any player in this game. Now we fly. I gonna have 2500 RPM for my climbing altitude, and I don't know those attitudes of flight. Probably I'm gonna have 33, 32 inches of manifold pressure. And I'm gonna watch this gauge. My vertical speed should be constant. That's how you know you've got stabilized climbing attitude. Heading is okay. Vertical speed gauge isn't stationary. But almost stationary. And I don't know if I need to add some power or decrease some power. Yes, 31, 32 inches is gonna be good for this fuel capacity for this payload. Hello table on Tech Hill. Hello. Table on the chill, I'm sorry, hello. I'm practicing with Skytrain, do takeoff, circuit and landing. For evening stream I'm gonna fly with English speaking guys. Probably I'm gonna fly, I hope. I like formation flying. And now I'm gonna do transition into straight and level flight. Okay, minus 5% of elevator trim. She's pitching nose down. RPM down, I think, to 2000 RPM. That's too low, but I'm okay with that. Stupid view settings. Minus 5% more, 10% up. Elevator trim is gonna be my straight and level stabilized attitude settings. And I need to adjust elevator trim. I don't need to watch it, you can adjust it, you feel, you know your bank angle, but elevator trim you need to know exactly. Once again, minus 5% elevator trim, she's pitching nose down. I'm heavy, I shouldn't decrease 5%, I should decrease by 2 or 3%. That's the same behavior as on P40 with the bomb or A20, but that's why I'm practicing. Beautiful Skytrain. And now I'm waiting. As you can see, she's pitching nose down too much. So I'm even losing altitude. That's something I don't need. And the final step of that transition is throttling back to, I think, 22, 23 or 24, 25 inches of manifold pressure. Once again, that called pounds per square inch, but all pilots call it inches. And she's stabilized. Beautiful, beautiful airplane. I would like to fly from close formation after leader who's got stabilized straight and level attitude. That's a pure fun in this game, in any game I think, but this game with flight physics is beautiful. With those trim settings, with that airplane behavior is very, very comfortable in good weather when you've got no turbulence. Now I can say 24-25 inches wasn't enough, so I've adjusted to 26 inches. This airplane isn't very stable on heading. You can see her wings. She's losing heading, not like P40, not like P51. And what can I say? 26 inches. 25.9 is okay. Maybe too much even. But I will not change it. I will try the next step. I will try it's only 6 minutes left. I'll try transition into wheels down, flaps down. This airplane's got flaps, no flaps down, descending. So technochat on. Wheels down, throttle back and forward a little bit, RPM full forward, elevator trim 90%, not letting her gain altitude or lose altitude. She's slowing down, and now flaps down and throttle forward. And I think she's gonna be stabilized on 90 miles per hour indicated. You can see flaps down. And now I just need to pick up the right manifold pressure settings to have that vertical speed gauge stationary, that standard for standard descending before landing. So those 11 inches, 12 inches is okay. I think she's stabilized, very comfortable airplane. Unfortunately, I've got no time to complete this circle, but next mission I'm gonna repeat. Okay, transition into climbing attitude once again, 30%. She's accelerating. I need to add power. I didn't add power, that was my bad. She's accelerating and nose up. I don't know this airplane, I don't know the speeds. I need more airspeed. Now she's more or less stabilized and climbing attitude. I think those 31, 30, 32, 33 inches gonna be enough. And I've lost 10 degrees of heading. Now she's climbing. All okay. 120 miles per hour is her climbing speed on this elevator trim settings. Oh, and I forgot to reduce RPM. I'm rusty. I need to practice more. I didn't fly 1 week and last week I had only one practice session, so last only 3 hours of flight time for last 12 days, 13 days. I'm rusty. That's why practice sessions are always good thing to do. And mission's gonna end very soon. Let's try transition into stabilized straight and level flight. Minus 2%, minus 5%. Elevator trim, RPM down to 2000 RPM. She is pitching nose down and accelerating. By accelerating, she starts pitch nose up, minus 3% more. Wait until she is gonna pitch nose up. Minus 2% more. Once again, I am straight and level right now. Minus 3% more. I've lost. She's accelerating very slowly. Now she's pitching nose up, minus 2% more, and minus 1%. And she's pitching nose down immediately. Now she starts pitch nose up, 10%, elevator trim 10%, techno chat off, I don't need it anymore. When she's gonna pitch her nose up, oh, that's it. No more time left. 1 minute break and then I will repeat my taxiing and takeoff and circuit and land. The reason I perform such a procedure on transitioning from one flight attitude to another, I want to have a very smooth flight profile that's comfortable for formation flying, comfortable for maintaining heading, that's important for route flying, for leader duties. If you lead formation, you need to think about your wingman. They should be comfortable following you. You shouldn't have any waves, any woes from left to right and from up and down waves. You should have straight trajectory and very smooth transition from climbing into level trajectory and from descending from level into descending. So let's repeat our mission with C-47 all set. Thank you developers. After 8 or 9 years they gave us such a great opportunity. Once again, fuel 100% and spawn. Once again, I'm very appreciate the Steel Skies server. Great playground for training. How can you tell if your outlet call shutters open or closed without TechnoChat? You just need to watch them right here. Thank you. That's great relief. Left engine is okay. Wait for right engine to start. That guy's second pilot face is the same like Airborne troops. Or not? Yes, the same, probably. No, not the same. You will not see Jotoy or Guarnir or Malarkey faces over there. And tail wheel, how you say it, tail wheel released, parking brakes released, and another very short taxiing to my start position. I forgot to close the doors. Pretty much comfortable on this type of surface. Taxiing is okay. I was indiscreet. I should watch my taxiing. Good normal taxiing speed. Not too slow, not too fast. And no brakes used in this taxiing procedure. That's also, for me, quite interesting part of the game. Quite fun not to use brakes. That you can say that's important skill. Who knows? Yesterday I've seen beautiful, great lower deck renders from Jason Williams' new combat pilot game. Of course I know that game wouldn't be wouldn't be some miracle, but if though that developers team gonna apply high level of fidelity, realism, that would be great. Who knows, maybe wet, muddy surfaces while taxiing is gonna be a headache for players in a 3 or 4 years time. Of course you need settings, your personal settings, to switch it off, so you could be comfortable with any way of gaming you like. But if you need that, you should be able to apply those settings to have your gaming better. Once again, I forgot to set up elevator trim tab or that wheel. Rolling into start position with using brakes is very, very easy, and slow forward motion, throttle forward motion. In 5 seconds you need to move from 0 to maximum. That's for standard operations, standard group operation. And we are airborne. RPM down, wait until she's got 120 miles per hour indicated, and then nose up and throttle back to 30 inches. I didn't perform that procedure in the right manner. That was, oh, I've still got some differential power. I was indiscreet and didn't check it, didn't double check that before takeoff. Okay, that 31 inches should be enough. This airplane, as I can remember, just like A20, just like P40, hasn't got a unit which controls manifold pressure. That's much more interesting for player to constantly make small corrections while climbing. That's also very, very important for comfortable formation flying. That's what I'm gonna need to do right now. It was 30.7, I made it 31.9, and she's still unstable on heading. I need to control my heading all the time. I know that the airplane had autopilot capabilities, but I didn't join this game to give my controls to autopilot. I'm able to fly myself and to maintain heading manually. I like it. Yes, that's quite tiresome. Okay, it's time to perform transition, to do transition into straight and level flight. -2 or 3% elevator trim, RPM down to 20, 100 RPM. She's pitching nose down and accelerating. She does it very slowly. That's her behavior. And she starts pitching nose up, -3% elevator trim once more, -3% one more time, because she's pitching nose up. She's pitching nose up, -2%, -2% more. I'm not used to her behavior on such a transition procedure. -2% more. She is gaining altitude. I don't need that. -2% more. Pitching nose up, -3% more. Technochat off, I don't need it. Wait until she's gonna pitch her nose up and I'm gonna do throttling back a little bit, just a little bit, because 25.9 is gonna be okay. Let's make side slip angle 0. I don't need any side slip. She's gaining altitude. That 25.9 manifold pressure is too much for her. Throttling back a little bit to 25.0. I bet that's gonna be not enough. Oh, here you go. You can see straight and level stabilized attitude. And I will fine-tune my airspeed using my cowl flaps. I've closed them a little bit and airspeed should increase because I'm not going to be able to set manifold pressure precisely. I can change it 0.5, 0.6 inches, but I need 0.2, so I change my drag with closing or opening cowl flaps. And as you can see, a vertical speed indicator is stationary and 0. That's straight and level stabilized attitude. Heading isn't okay, I'm losing heading all the time. She's not willing to maintain her wings level, but that tendency you're gonna have on any airplane. And P-51 is very stable, P-40 is quite stable. Oh, that's perfect straight and level. Perfect straight and level attitude. I don't need any ultra level arcade features. So the next step, my stream is not gonna be too long. The next step I need to do transition into stabilized wheels down, flaps down, descending attitude. Once again, Technochat on, wheels down, throttle back and forward a little bit, RPM to maximum, not letting her gain or lose altitude. Elevator trim to almost to maximum 90%. Wait until she slows down, and then flaps down and throttle forward. Throttle to 11 or 12 inches, and she's perfectly stabilized in descending configuration and descending attitude. And I've lost 10 degrees of heading one more time, but she's stabilized. So my trajectory is almost straight line, and my vertical speed is standard. That's gonna be important for standard final approach procedures for standard overhead brake pattern. Very, very comfortable, very easy to handle airplane. and quite powerful engines, I must say. Il-2 doesn't have the same thrust weight ratio as C-47. Il-2 is also a very good airplane, has got machine gun turret. Okay, transition into climbing. Wheels up, throttle forward to 31 inches, flaps down, elevator trim down to 30, RPM down to 2500 RPM. She's accelerating, and now she gained airspeed. I'm in stabilized climbing altitude. Perfect, very easy to handle airplane, very easy. Those passengers, they wouldn't even notice any woes and bumps. They can sleep. They need energy for their duties. Those of you who played Postscriptum or Squad 44, like they call it right now, you know how good to play US or British Airborne troops to jump out of C-47 and to get yourself in a firefight immediately after landing. Just imagine if you could have that in this game with a player pilot and players infantry or airborne troops. That would be beautiful. With the supply missions for troops, you can bring them ammunition, anti-tank, how they call that, bazooka rounds, medicine, water, reinforcements. That would be great. And once again, transition into straight and level altitude, minus 2%, elevator trim, RPM down to 2000. I don't watch Technochat, I watch RPM gauge. She's pitching nose down. I need Technochat for elevator trim settings. Once again I lost 10 degrees of heading, unacceptable. Minus 2% more, minus 2%, 3% more, because she is gaining altitude. It's not easy to see your pitch angle on this airplane, so I need to watch vertical speed indicator. I think she's pitching nose up, minus 2% more. And minus 3% more. Wait until she is gonna pitch her nose up. She's accelerating and starting pitch her nose up, minus 2% more. and minus 3% more, and Technochat off. Let's make our standard 50 degrees bank angle left turn. Add some extra power, additional power, not to lose altitude. I've got 1700 feet, that's okay for me. I'm gaining altitude. Here standard 15 degrees bank angle radius is very sharp, is very small, so she's turning very sharp. And throttle back. 030 is my new heading. That was 90 degrees left turn. I think that's gonna be the only one circle I gonna do for this stream, and then I gonna have probably a very short break. 1 hour, I think 1 hour break, and then I gonna have stream 820 Russian commentary stream for Russian community, for bomber players. On 820B, the same takeoff, circuit and landing and all procedures, and then after takeoff, circuit and landing, combat mission simulation with climbing 18,000 feet and bombs away procedure, no bombardier, gaming only 820 pilot procedures, so I will not use any auto level. I'm gonna try to maintain straight and level trajectory after bombs away, and then descending and getting into approach straight, overhead brake pattern, landing and taxiing. And that's gonna be it for practice sessions today, and maybe later, I think 6 hours later, I will try to have combat mission with English speaking guys on C-47, probably on tactical air war. Okay, once again transitioning into wheels down, flaps down attitude with for final approach. Wheels down, throttle back and forward a little bit, RPM forward, not letting her lose altitude. Elevator trim almost up. She's losing speed. Wait until she slows down and flaps down, nose down. She's stabilized and wheels down, flaps down, descending attitude, and I even didn't lose any heading. I adjust aileron trim and rudder trim settings. I think she's stabilized. Very easy, very comfortable procedure. As you can see, vertical speed indicator is almost stationary, which is good for standard final approach procedure. If you've got standard transitioning procedure, standard final approach procedure. You can have standard initial point, and you're gonna descend into landing runway threshold. That's gonna be standard landing. Very good for single player, for your single mission, or even better for group flying. And standard overhead brake pattern gonna let me have that standard initial point. Now I'm transitioning into stabilized climbing attitude, letting her increase airspeed in horizontal flight, and when it's 120 miles per hour indicated, I'm pulling up, and she's stabilized in climbing attitude. The only thing I need to set with Technochat is 30%. In my case, it's 30% elevator trim up settings, and she's stabilized. We got Newport Island ahead. Let's add some power. It was 30.6. I made it 31.0, and climbing until 1700 feet, then transitioning to straight and level once again. I will not do any practice transitioning into wheels down, flaps down, stabilized descending attitude. I didn't watch my heading. I've lost 12 degrees of heading. That's my bad. She's very, I would say she's very naughty. She doesn't want to stay on heading. So you need to watch this gauge all the time and this gauge to have your wings level. Okay, transitioning into straight and level, minus 2% elevator trim, RPM down to 2000 RPM. I use the quite low RPM settings. I think that's 2200 prescribed RPM, but I use quite low. 2000, that's okay with me. She's pitching nose up, minus 3% elevator trim. Now she's pitching nose down. Wait until she accelerates enough to pitch nose up, and decrease another 3% of elevator trim settings. And once again she's pitching nose down, accelerating, and trying to pitch nose up. When you see it, decrease one more, decrease elevator trim settings one more time, minus 2% this time. and minus another 2% because she's climbing some reason. Probably airspeed is okay. Now she's pitching, she's pitching nose up, minus 3% more. And minus 3% more. That was too much. And she's pitching nose up, minus 2% more, and that's it. Wait until she's gonna pitch nose up. And my power settings is almost straight and level power settings, so the most convenient, the most easy handling airplane of all time, C-47. Very, very, very comfortable. That's a compliment for developer team. You want to have a transport transport airplane very easy to handle, because you're gonna need a lot of those airplanes. High pilots is gonna be fighter pilots, bomber pilots, attacker airplane pilots, and the less qualified pilots gonna be C-47 pilots. You're gonna need a lot of them for your operation. And as you can see, this as you could see, this airplane has got very short standard 15 degrees bank angle turn radius. So my airfield is somewhere here and I'm somewhere there. On other airplanes I'm somewhere here after 2 turns, but yes, that I didn't watch my timing between those 2 turns, but still I know from my previous experience this airplane has got very sharp turning. That's her characteristics, and I need to open cowl flaps a little bit because my vertical speed is too much. I use those cowl flaps to increase my drag and to slow down a little bit, because I will not be able to fine-tune my manifold pressure. She's still climbing a little bit more. Cowl flaps opening. To have that gauge on 0. As you can see, I've got 19,500 feet altitude. That's almost highest, how you say it, higher border of my altitude range. I use from 1500 to 1800 altitude range, and airfield's got 1,500 altitude itself, so it's from 16.5 to 19.5 100 feet altitude I should have to be in range. Still she's climbing a little bit. Some reason, just like the 40, this airplane is not, she doesn't respond to cowl flaps opening, and A20 is responding very much. That's very convenient on A20 and not very convenient on P40 and C-47. It's normal weather. Just imagine if I would have cold weather right now, I wouldn't be able to open cowl flaps too much. That's my airfield. I'm too close to see my runway. I've got 330 heading. Runway is 150330 heading. And that very small lake is on my 12 o'clock right now. She's climbing still. I need to decrease power and shut down some. Because I've got 2000 feet altitude, that's too much. I need from 16.5 to 19.5 100 feet altitude. That would be in range. And now, as you can see, almost perfect straight and level balanced attitude. Some reason well, I fully understand those of you who consider such gaming extremely boring, but I like it. I manually control my airplane, set all attitudes manually. I don't use any auto level. This is Totten town, and Southampton is over there. But I need to watch my heading, not towns, villages, and this babe is very capricious. She doesn't like to maintain heading, even being perfectly stabilized. Probably that's because of her size, big size babe, but I like her anyway. And probably my trim settings were not 100% ideal, so I need to adjust rudder trim settings to maintain heading. Probably I have adjusted that, and she was banking to the right and now she's banking to the left. Let's make it to the right a little bit. She's quite slow. That's the small pond I use for visual reference for landmark, and that is a T-junction over here, another T-junction over here, and when I got myself on here next to the Ramsey, I'm gonna turn left and get myself on this approach straight. While moving on by that straight, I'm gonna get to the overhead brake pattern initial point. I'm gonna watch it with my, probably when that runway threshold gonna touch this part of my wind shield. Okay, let's turn. Extra power, banking left, watching vertical speed, not letting her lose or gain altitude. She's quite comfortable, quite stable. She's losing altitude, pulling up a little bit. Standard 15 degrees bank angle. Turn. Very, very comfortable, very good. My desired heading is 240. That was 90 degrees turn, and now I'm approaching, entering approach straight area somewhere there. I need to appraise my location visually. My visual reference is Lyndhurst. I know I'm gonna fly above Lyndhurst, and I need to pick up right timing for left, another left 90 degrees turn, knowing she's turning very sharp. The 15 degrees bank angle turn, standard turn radius is very low. I'm gonna wait a little bit more. Okay, I think it's right timing. Extra power, additional power, banking left, watching vertical speed. Watching vertical speed, not letting her lose altitude. You're gonna lose altitude first, and the second and worst, you're gonna accelerate. That's gonna be accelerate too much. That's gonna be bad for stabilized attitude after you complete your turn. I've completed my turn. Lyndhurst is on my 12 o'clock, and I even can see my landing strip. That's perfect timing. That's experience. And I know this area. I can say I'm a local. I practice a lot on this area, on this airfield. That's also interesting part of the game. So now I'm moving by this approach straight to the overhead brake pattern initial point, then I'm gonna start turning left 180 degrees turn, then probably 20 or 25 seconds shifting straight and level flight on opposite heading or on 2 quarters, like I call it, from circling block, and another 90 degrees left turn and transitioning into flaps down, wheels down attitude and final approach and touchdown. With all those troops who are not supposed to jump today, no jump today, guys, no jump today. Only practicing. Like Lieutenant Miem would say, no jump today. Only practicing. That's already too much for me for my first practice session on this airplane in probably a year or 6 months, I don't know. That's already too much. I ain't got much time. This stream is gonna end in about 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna have 1 hour break or about 1 hour break, and then I'm gonna have practice session on A20. That's gonna be Russian commentary stream for Russian speaking guys, bomber players who I would like to fly with. Maybe I will play with them, maybe not, but I would like to show the right way of flying as I see it. And later today I'm gonna have combat stream with combat flying on C-47 with English speaking guys, probably on tactical air war, I hope. Today it's gonna be 11 a.m. CST, Central South CST time, and that's 5.5 hours left till that time. Okay, I'm perfectly positioned, perfectly. I didn't even need to make any correction, any shifting left to right, and now I start overhead brake pattern, which not also for brake, for group formation brake, but also to get yourself into a standard initial point. That's transition into wheels down, flaps down, descending attitude initial point. If that initial point is located in a proper way, and you're gonna perform your transition and final approach descending standard, you're gonna find yourself on zero altitude on closest edge of landing runway, which gonna be perfect for your perfect landing. So I'm gonna wait 20 seconds, I think, and resume my left turning. Okay, I've waited 20 seconds. I'm too high, so no extra power. Altitude should be 100, 200 less than that. I'm letting her descend a little bit. That's my bad. I'm too high. Let's wait and see. When heading is 240, I'm gonna start my transition into descending. Wheels down, throttle back and forward a little bit, RPM forward, elevator trim almost up. I don't need Technochat anymore. Wait until she slows down and flaps down, nose down. I should turn more sharper. I should apply more banking angle, but still I think I'm okay. I'm okay. That's why I like standard procedures. I think I'm okay. I can adjust power a little bit to get myself on a final approach glissade. I'm a little bit, I think I'm higher than I need to be, or maybe not. This airplane is very, very, very comfortable, even on landing, on final approach. Yes, I'm too high, but probably I would have 25 seconds shifting on opposite heading. Maybe not. I'm perfect. I think I'm perfect. Throttle, cut the throttle, pitching nose up, Oh, almost perfect landing, but this airplane is built for that, for any pilot, not very high qualified. She's gonna be comfortable. And another compliment for developers team, they've made her very realistic, so any player like myself, I'm not used to this airplane, I don't know her behavior, I'm very comfortable, very comfortable with almost all parts of my mission. I'm gonna use brakes to perform that, to do that sharp taxiing turn. And then I will not suffer with asphalt tarmac. I don't like to block tail wheel. I'm gonna use differential power taxiing, no brakes, differential power taxiing on a grassy surface. Sorry for that, if that is very boring, but for me it's interesting. I need to accelerate a little bit. Now she's accelerating. Wet and muddy English grass provide us with normal rolling drag characteristics, surface characteristics. So I'm comfortable with no brakes, differential power, taxiing. As you can see, the view from cabin, from cockpit is very good. You don't need even to do any S-turning. You S-turn not only not to hit any obstacles, not to run over people, but also to be aware of the surface condition, just like when driving your car, riding your bicycle. You watch while walking, you watch ahead to know what's ahead of you. And the same when taxiing, you do S-turning not only to be aware of obstacles and not to hit, not to run over, not to kill any person ahead of you, but also the first thing is to know the surface condition. Maybe there gonna be some dumps, maybe some mud, maybe some bumps, and you're gonna want to avoid them. Of course, this game doesn't provide you with all of that. Only two types of surface on such airfields: asphalt and gravel. On other airfields, you've got concrete or steel plates instead of asphalt, tarmac, or icy surfaces, or how you call it, pressed snow. That taxiing speed is quite high. I'm quite fast. I shouldn't be. Once again, thanks to SLT Steel Sky server for good playground for training purposes. And now I'm starting to use my brakes, as you can see, because I'm not going to be able to do sharp turns with only differential power, and asphalt tarmac is pain and suffering without using brakes because of very low rolling drag characteristics. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it is what it is. I'm sorry for that expression. Okay, let's try 180 station return with only differential power. Okay, fine. Okay, thanks for watching. about 1 hour break, and then I'm gonna do another practice session on A20B. So goodbye for now.